My name is AJ Boyd, and this is an update to February's roundtable, where our main theme was Duty to God and Religious Emblems. So if you missed our district roundtable and district meeting this month, this will catch you up on the main presentation, and hopefully we'll be able to do this in months forthcoming. Scout's duty to God, we might say, is the first and last point of scouting. The first point of the Scout Oath and the last point of the Scout Law ties together this fundamental principle that to be a scout, one to be well-formed as a young person in society, one has to understand their obligation to God as well as country. So what that means in the Boy Scouts of America is laid out in our Declaration of Religious Principle, that no member can grow to the best kind of citizen without recognizing their obligation to God. But it doesn't matter what religious faith or what the definition of God is, as scouting is absolutely non-sectarian. We don't have a preference for any particular religion or any particular approach to religion. We don't even have a preference for how you define God. So the language used in scouting may sound like the monotheistic God of the Abrahamic religions or of Monty Python in this case. But your conception of God does not have to be of an omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, omnibenevolent being. Any understanding of the divine is what is meant by duty to God. Any understanding of the transcendent or of the greater than our simple selves. Reverence in Scouting lexicon means simply learning about one's own faith and learning about and respecting the faiths of others in all their beautiful diversity. That's why a lot of scouting programs related to duty to God have to do with building up of peace, like Messengers of Peace, with celebrating peace and ecumenical diversity, like the Bethlehem Peace Light program, or that are specifically about interfaith and intercultural dialogue, like Dialogue for Peace. Probably the most familiar program, however, would be the Religious Emblems programs. The Religious Emblems are programs provided by the faith-based organizations themselves, not by scouting. There are about 40 different religions and religious groups that offer these Religious Emblems programs, which are designed for young people in groups like Scouting, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Campfire, or a number of others, but they don't have to be. What the BSA does provide is a recognition for any youth who have earned these religious emblems in the form of a square knot with a purple background, a silver knot. Youth can earn this emblem usually at each of 4 different levels in their scouting career, as younger cubs, as Weeblos, as Scouts BSA, and as older scouts in Sea Scouting or Venturing, or just as older Scouts BSA. Each time they earn this, they still just get the one square knot, but can add a different device representing the level of scouting that they've attained that emblem. Most of these organizations also offer awards for adults that are usually granted by nomination and selection by committee in recognition of adult scouters who have volunteered their time and service to youth as part of youth ministry of their particular faith, or as an expression of their faith in some way. And when an adult is awarded one of these awards, which cannot be earned but are always given from the outside, there's a different square knot, the inverse of the youth program here with a purple knot on a silver background. Another important feature of duty to God in scouting are the certain positions that serve at the local level, and that include our religious professionals, our pastoral counselors, our ministers, our religious educators who can serve as chaplains in scouting, and the youth who can serve as chaplains' aides, either directly assisting a chaplain or, in the absence of a chaplain, providing some of the leadership in this area of making sure that there are interfaith services, of making sure that religious holidays are considered when troop or district or council planning is done, of making sure that the duty to God is always kept in the conversation going. The other side would be sort of, if you will, the lay side, those who are interested in promoting the religious emblems programs across the board. Every unit, every district, every council can have a religious emblems coordinator whose responsibility is simply to promote religious emblems and to help scouts connect with the appropriate religious authority that they can find, that they can engage their own religious emblems. The other piece that often gets asked about is the duty to God requirements in every level of scouting advancement. In Cub Scouting, every rank of Cubs has some kind of duty to God activity, which always includes the first requirement: discuss what it means to do your duty to God in daily life within your family context. So obviously that is going to be different with every family. There's no obligation or expectation that what it means in your family would be the same as what it means in a different family. The other activities, the Scout has several options that include the kinds of things like do an act of kindness or a service project, attend a religious service or some kind of activity where reverence is shown, however you define that, offer a prayer, a reflection, a poem, a meditation, read a story, sing a song, identify a person whose faith you admire. This kind of thing. Again, it's very much defined by your family experience and definition of faith and of the divine, but it's tailored that every Scout engages those questions at an age-appropriate level. When we get to Scouts BSA, it's a little bit simpler. Every rank has the simple requirement that you demonstrate Scout spirit by living the oath and law and tell you how you have done your duty to God and different points of the Scout law since your last rank advancement. So again, this is very much dependent on the individual Scout's reflection and personality. When you get to the highest rank, to the Eagle Scout application, there is one of the recommenders should be a religious leader or educator of some kind. If you don't belong to a formal religious organization, a parent or guardian or some other mentor who can speak to your spiritual well-being or your approach to faith and what that means to you, can take care of that letter. In venturing, there's what we call the Trust Award, which highlights, I think, very clearly these aspects of what duty to God in Scouting means. First of all, it's about learning your own faith, whatever it is. It's about learning and respecting the diversity of other faiths, including and especially those of your fellow Scouts. It's about learning other cultures and the diversity of culture that we have in the US and in the world. It's service to community and transformation of society. So both direct charitable service and advocacy for making a better world. These are the 5 aspects of a Scouting's duty to God, expressed very well in Venturing's Trust Award. For Sea Scouts, you have a number of electives at each rank of particular level, and duty to God is one of many areas you can choose from, usually requiring that you plan an interfaith Scout's own service or earn the religious emblem appropriate to your faith tradition. There are a number of other recognitions, activities, and opportunities out there. If you want to know more, you can contact your Council Religious Relationships Committee, contact myself, be happy to provide more information. It's also important to note and helpful to remember that a lot of times when programs are offered by a particular religious organization, they are not meant to be exclusive. They might be tailored to that religious organization, but they're open to anyone, and some will make that quite clear at the beginning. So whether it's the Duty to God patches or the International Awareness emblem over here, Building Faith in Youth, whatever it is, may be something that is designed for everybody. So just because a different religion is offering it doesn't mean that you can't do it as well. Take a look, and when in doubt, feel free to ask. So I hope this was helpful and informative, and have a good day, and see you at the next roundtable.